Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Now, somebody asked me the question, can they get a personal loan while in Chexsystems? And the answer to that is yes. And the reason that most people will pass up getting a personal loan, although they're in Chexsystem, they figure that, well, bank ain't going to give me a loan. Yes, that may be true. Certain banks may not give you a loan. But like PenFed, like with PenFed, they're very flexible, okay? You can have a debt to income ratio of about 60%. As a matter of fact, even like if you just coming out of a bankruptcy and the bankruptcy is about 9 months old and you open up an account with PenFed and stuff like that, you still may qualify for a personal loan. So PenFed would be one of those ones that you want to look at, all right? Now, with most banks, usually if you're in Chexsystem, but there's certain banks, if they're not using Chexsystem, they may use early warning systems stuff, right? But even like Navy Federal, like granted, Navy Federal, I think they use early warning systems, but at the same time, if you have a long-term relationship with them with deposits, you have multiple accounts with them and stuff like that, they will look over that as well and give you a loan. Now, if you have multiple accounts with them, like I'll tell you something that people don't know about Navy Federal with their personal loans, or in their credit cards. If you max out a loan, okay, and you're struggling to make the payments, if you call them, they will reduce your payments. Most people are not aware of this. They would screw their account up, but Navy Federal, they would actually freeze the account for you and they'll let you make smaller payments. That's right. So most people aren't even aware of this. They'll just go ahead and get a charge off or something like that instead of just trying to make arrangements. So Navy Federal figured that, hey, I'd rather you make smaller payments and then lose the whole account where I have to write it off, then I have to sue you, because Navy Federal will sue you, okay? And so some people are finding it out. Navy Federal will sue you. But the thing about it is, like I said, if you're having a hard time making payments and stuff, and you let them know that, hey, right now I'm having a hard time and stuff, they will reduce your payments. They'll freeze your accounts and they'll reduce your payments. So if any of you guys that are having that problem, reach out to Navy, and you're with Navy Federal, reach out to them. Now, do I know if any other institutions do that? I don't know, but I know for sure that Navy Federal does that. So that way you can keep your account in good standing, or at least keep your relationship with them. Now, in terms of other places for you to get a loan, when you are in Chexsystems and things of that nature, you probably have to go to like tribal lenders in order to get a loan. That's right. With tribal lenders, because they don't use the major credit bureau, they use their third-party credit bureaus in order to help you qualify for a loan. So where you won't see that hard pull on your credit, or these are the type of loans that you may not show up on your credit report at all. But what they do, they will check these third-party credit bureau financial databases to see if you had a loan with them, if you're currently in a bankruptcy or something like that, right? So places that you want to go to if you're looking for like a $5,000 loan. Now with IndyLand, right? So IndyLand, they offer loans up to $5,000. But the interesting thing about it, it is a platform, okay? But it's not about the credit with them. It's about your availability to make the payments. So when people go there and say, well, they didn't give me a loan or whatever, they suck or whatever, you're lying. Well, the reality of it is that if you may not have enough income. Number two is they may not even service your state, okay? So that's another thing. A lot of people, they say, well, you foolish, excuse me, I'm not going to use that word, but when they say that, they're not really paying attention. What I'm saying is that, again, if you're not in that state that they service, they can't help you. That's just the reality of it. And so trying to explain that to people, you have to be very cautious in terms of these here lenders, because these are predatory lenders. With the exception of like me mentioning Navy, Federal, and Penn Fed, these lenders, they are predatory, meaning they have higher interest rates, because if you have bad credit, if you're in Chexsystem, wouldn't you have high interest rates? Because you don't know the likelihood of these people paying the money back, right? So you charge a higher interest rate. So in terms of like different tribal loans, like you have FundJoy. So FundJoy offers up to $5,000 as well. Then you also have like Uprover. So Uprover is a tribal lender. But again, keep in mind, with these tribal lenders, they're not in all 50 states, all right? So they may be contracting in just certain states, but you would have to go on their website, send them an email and stuff before, and it's a direct lender. So it's not a platform, it's a direct lender, Uprover. Then you have Rise Credit. Rise Credit, again, it's a direct lender. All right. And on their website, if you go down to the bottom, click on sitemap, it'll tell you every state that they offer a loan up to $5,000. Okay. Now, the thing about it with the difference between Uprover and Rise Credit will report your positive activity to the to the personal credit bureaus. All right. Now, with these here type of lenders, again, being tribal lenders, they're using the third-party credit bureaus, which is Clarity, which is owned by Experian, DataX, which is owned by Equifax, Factor Trust, which is owned by TransUnion. Or sometimes they may use LexisNexis or SageStream, right? But again, they're trying to see, have you taken advantage of them in the past? Have you looked at filing bankruptcy? So that's what they're actually looking for. You have other lenders that would overlook your you have other lenders that will overlook your Chexsystem as well, like NetCredit. NetCredit will overlook your, and they give up to $10,000 loans, right? So NetCredit is one. You have Checking to Cash. Checking to Cash not only gives the loans, but they actually offer lines of credit up to $4,000. That's the reason I tell you, like, even like with NetCredit, now here's the thing about it with NetCredit, like they let you do a pre-qual, but if you actually accept what they offer, they'll do a hard pull. Okay. But at the same time, if you're in Chexsystem, that more likely will not stop you from getting the funding and stuff. Long as you show the ability, you have deposits and stuff. And the way to get around the Chexsystems is find banks that offer second chance checking. There's a lot of banks around that offer second chance checking. What's that? Black Bank, One Bank, right? So One Bank, they offer second chance checking. So just check around. Some of these banks, they offer second chance checking. So that would help you to be able to qualify for a loan if you just worried about your Chexsystems and stuff. So look for second chance checking. Then you have a Money Lion. They offer small loans and stuff like that. Then, of course, you have your, like Dave being like a cash app type of loan. They don't check Chexsystems. So you have different lenders. Opportune. Now with Opportune is a CDFI, a Community Development Financial Institute. So they're in the community. Granted, yeah, the interest rate may not be comfortable for an individual, but they offer loans from $300 up to $10,000. And the thing about it, even if you don't have a social, they will still work with you. Okay, so thinking that because you're in Chexsystem, you can't get a loan, a personal loan, that's not stopping you from getting a personal loan. All right. Now, something else I want to bring to your attention as well that people are not aware of. When you say that you put in an application, if the information on your credit file from one of those third-party credit bureaus and stuff is not matching, then the application may be kicked back, right? And it's not saying you don't qualify, it's just the information doesn't match up. So then you need to see exactly what's on your credit file and clear it up. That's where I was telling people, start with LexisNexis, because your major credit bureau, they're getting that information from LexisNexis. Okay, you start there with cleaning up your name and address and things of that nature, so that way when you put in, like, you have more accurate data that's going on in that application. Okay, because I see people with 15, 16 different addresses and stuff from them moving around and things that's been there, but they never addressed it, right? So that's the reason I tell you, you have to really pay attention to that. You have Explore Credit. Now, Explore Credit, again, another tribal lender, but they're not in every state, but they offer loans up to $2,000, okay? So they offer loans up to $2,000. You have River Valley. River Valley, they offer loans up to $3,000. Then if you're an entrepreneur, you know, you're a business owner, you're making money and stuff, but you have bad credit, then look at Fundo. Fundo offers loans up to $10,000. They're merchant cash advances, so the interest rate definitely is going to be much higher. But just keep in mind, they don't operate in New York and as well as California, but it is an option, okay? And so, of course, you have to have at least 90 days of deposits, 90 days of deposits. You also have to have at least $1,500 in deposits going into the bank, right? And they're going to use Plaid or Decision Logic to check that information. So if you have bad credit, that's not stopping you. Now, some of you all, you may even have a car that you already own, but it has equity in it. Or you may be making a car payment but the car has equity in it. You can go over to Yendo. You can try Yendo and see if they would actually give you a loan, okay, against your car. So they'll give you like a title loan. It's up to $10,000. You know, granted, $10,000 for some people may not be a lot. But at the same time, if you got equity in the car and you driving around broke and you in Chexsystem, why not leverage it? Why not utilize it, right? You can do DoorDash and stuff like that and then borrow some money to help catch up on some bills. Now, I will tell you this. For you guys that are W-2 workers, you still can go to your HR and you can request to file exempt for 3 or 4 months. You can file as long as you want to, but I would tell you 3 or 4 months, right? And because people were worried about getting back a tax refund, I don't worry about that stuff. Think about it. If I'm needing to get some money to pay some bills or whatever, then I'm going to do what I need to do. And I hope you understand that. So that's what I mean. But if you're a W-2 worker going to your HR and filing exempt, so what that means is that they're no longer taking federal and state taxes out of your check. You know, so you're bringing home a bigger paycheck to help get caught up on some bills. So that's the thing about it. If you're in Chexsystem, yes, you can actually get loans and stuff like that, still get personal loans, all right? So if you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.